Thank you so much for this comment. I really appreciate when you guys engage with my posts, but there are a couple of aspects about this comment I want to clarify because I really think it's important to make sure that behavior analysis is disseminated accurately. First things first, anytime problem behavior is happening, it's usually because there's a skill deficit and we need to teach that person something else to do instead of their problem behavior that's going to get their needs met. So if you have a learner or a child or a student that you're working with that is tantruming or engaging in problem behavior for attention, then instead of ignoring that student, what you would want to do first is teach them what to do instead of tantrum for attention. We want to teach them a replacement behavior that's going to be easier for them to engage in and functionally equivalent, so will produce the same thing for them that the tantrum did. So what's easier than having a complete meltdown for someone's attention? Just saying their name. So what we would want to do first is let's teach that student a replacement behavior. We're not going to flat out ignore them if they're having a tantrum for your attention. Another aspect to note from this comment is that extinction and ignoring are not synonymous. Extinction is no longer reinforcing behavior that was previously reinforced. It doesn't mean that something is ignored. And finally, what I want to also talk about is that in a lot of my videos, I do talk about ignoring trivial behaviors that our kids engage in. And those are those behaviors I'm speaking about that get under your skin or are a part of growing up and might seem annoying to us, but they're harmless and nobody's getting hurt. It's not a big deal. Like, for example, if your child says poop, or if your child makes an annoying noise that they know you don't like, or if your child's sitting like in a way that they know bothers you, just those sorts of behaviors that like really don't cause any harm, but just tend to get under our skin. And as parents, we tend to focus on them, which then makes them increase. So when I say to ignore trivial behaviors, those are the behaviors that I'm speaking about. There are also ways to ignore trivial behaviors while still addressing and interacting with your child. We're just not going to focus on those trivial behaviors in the moment. I have a ton of video examples of that as well. But the point of this video is just to say, I don't think that it's accurate and I don't think it's right to say that all tantrums are just going to be ignored. Especially if you're working with a learner who doesn't have a functional form of communication, then that would be unethical. And what we would want to do is definitely teach them a way to communicate. I don't know if this person was talking about that or not, but regardless, if you are working with a learner that is having a tantrum because they want something, instead of ignoring them, we need to teach them what to say to get what they need. And then eventually, once they're fluently asking for the things that they want without having problem behavior, then maybe that if that learner's having a hard time hearing or accepting no, then maybe that's a skill that we can work on. But if you have a learner that's engaging in problem behavior because they want something and they're not asking for it, then we need to teach them how to ask for that first. Hope that clarifies this comment.